Ladies and gentlemen, 5 years ago, I spoke a first time to the aid of Camp Ashraf. At that occasion, I quoted Nelson Mandela, who once stated that the support of the international community is more powerful than a fleet of jets. I am pleased to notice that the last 5 years, the fleet of international support for Camp Ashraf has become much larger and much more powerful. The support for Ashraf has grown, but also have the challenges it is facing, of which the killing of 36 residents on the 8th of April this year was the darkest moment till now. The weeks and months to come are crucial to Ashraf and its residents. Therefore, I am here today to call for even more international support. More precisely, I call upon the EU, the US and the UN to take urgent action to make the Iraqi government cancel its deadline to close Camp Ashraf by the end of this year. I call upon the UN to station a constant monitoring team at Ashraf to secure the protection and human rights of its residents. And thirdly, I give my full support to the EU Special Envoy, my fellow Belgian citizen, Jean de Ruit. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 years ago, I also quoted Martin Luther King, who said that an injustice done anywhere threatens justice everywhere. That is why I have come here to renew my support for Ashraf. That is why, in a few days' time, I will assist as an international observer to the first truly democratic elections in Tunisia. I'm not supporting these struggles for democracy, human rights and justice only because I care, but because we want to show that you are not alone, that your struggle is also our struggle, that your pain and your freedom is also our pain and our freedom, and that therefore the international community is strongly determined to support the residents of Camp Ashraf until they too can enjoy the sweet taste of freedom in their lifetime. I thank you.
Ms. President Rajavi, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. First of all, I congratulate my distinguished colleague from European Parliament from the same political group, my political group, European Conservatives and Reformists, Mr. Stuart Stevenson, for his efforts and such wonderful achievements to solve the Ashraf crisis so far. Without these efforts, we wouldn't have reached a point that the UNHCR fulfills its commitments regarding Ashraf. Without these efforts, Baroness Catherine Ashton, Vice President of the European Commission, wouldn't have involved herself to this extent in this case, and Ashraf would not have been such an important issue in the EU. In Poland, in my country which loves freedom, like in many other EU member states, a majority of members of parliament signed a declaration in support of Ashraf. Ladies and gentlemen, despite all the efforts and achievements, we are still worried because the root of this problem lies in Tehran, which has drawn the Iraqi government to hostile acts towards Ashraf. The Iraqi government must understand that they have to choose between respecting international commitments and friendship and cooperation with Europe on one hand, or friendship with the mullahs and isolation by international community on the other hand. I wish to use this opportunity to express my strong, full support personally for Madam Rajavi and my brothers and sisters in Ashraf. Thank you.
I also like to add my voice to that of all the parliamentarians deeply concerned about the situation in Ashraf. The people of Afrash have suffered greatly during the years. Nearly 50 innocent refugees have died as a result of deadly attacks by Iraqi military against the unarmed dissidents in the past 2 years. Iraq has obstructed medical equipment to reach to the camp after the deadly attack in April, which caused more deaths in the camp as a result of deliberate denial of access to medical aid. The residents are tortured on a daily basis by over 300 loudspeakers which blare nonsense and insults against the residents. I think that this is unacceptable and we cannot and should not keep silent. I am glad that we now have a Belgian diplomat who has become EU's new envoy for Ashraf. I think Mr. De Ruyt has a very sensitive and hard task to tackle this humanitarian crisis and get Iraq to understand that they have to obey international laws and conventions and avoid harming defenseless refugees. Through our activities, we should get the UN engaged to prevent another military attack on Ashraf and send in a monitoring team before the end of 2011. I thank you.